Hello everybody and welcome back to another video on the channel. Bubble here. Today we're going to be doing something a little different. We're going to be making a tier list. We haven't done a tier list on the channel before, so this will be my first look, my first insight into where everyone kind of ranks, so you guys kind of know where I'm going when I'm talking in my videos, kind of how I think everyone stands. And so there's nothing real special for this tier list. We're going to be mostly looking in who's best overall. We're not really differentiating between solo queue and grouped queue like 5 stacks. We're kind of looking in the middle, saying who kind of works for both, who doesn't, and just talk about every Pokemon's kind of like strengths and weaknesses. So let's get right into this. I will make tier lists later if you guys want to see the separation between the two. But of course, we're going to start with our boy. I wanted to make a Cramorant tier and just have him at the top because if you guys didn't know, Cramorant is our boy, our main man. So we're just going to put him straight to the top, alright? As I was saying, Cramorant is the best character in the game. Not really. He really goes probably in the C tier. Not quite the D tier. Not quite the B tier. But the C tier. As you guys know, Cramorant got nerfed a while back, and they just haven't touched him since. But he has some pretty cool skins, so we're going to leave him up there just for now. Just for the meme. Just for the Cram meme. But the rest of this will be pretty, will be our thoughts, and we're just gonna go in a line. Let's start from Absol. Absol, if you guys don't know my thoughts on Absol, Absol is a gambling mon. If you guys don't know what I mean by that, this character is an all or nothing character. It kind of could work in the top lane, it could kind of go mid, but there's better options for it. It's overall not great. I feel like it definitely lies somewhere around here, you know, anywhere here. And what I mean by that is I say it's a gambling mon because if it crits you, you're dead. You're just gone. You're KO'd instantly. But if it doesn't crit you, it's like D, you know? So I think because of that, it can be good, it can be bad. So it goes in the B tier. It's in the B tier. There's always a B tier. Poor Absol is going to be stuck there for now until it gets a buff or gets like a crit chance increase, which then it'd be really scary. But it kind of is just this awkward mon that doesn't go top, doesn't go middle, it's just there, you know? No real option for it. But now let's move on to the next mon, and that's where we have Snorlax. Fallen from Grace used to be one of the best characters in the game. If you guys remember when the game first started, absolutely insane. But nowadays, honestly, you hardly see him played. He's still a top lane monster, by the way. If you still go against that old school Snore Pika, it's pretty insane still. And I guess with this being said, this is a Hoopa tier list. Hoopa just came out, and so they're the most recent person on this tier list, if anyone's watching in the future. Here we go with Snorlax. And with this mon, you have, let's just place it in the B for now until we figure out where we want to put it. Heavy Slam block can be still very good on a 5-man. And on a 5-man, coordinated, it might fall somewhere around here, but since we're looking at both, you see a lot of flail axes, crit lax. It's just so much fun. On a fun category, it's going to be up here, of course. But for a Snorlax, I'm honestly just going to give it a solid, because let's compare it to the other defenders. You got Crustal, you got Slowbro, who else is like Greninja, Blastoise. They're all pretty solid, and I think Snorlax belongs in the B tier. It's just not very influential anymore. It's dropped so far. I don't feel good about Snorlax to put him in the A tier. I have no problems dealing with them in game anymore. If we're gonna, let's actually organize them by who I think's better in this list. Like the left is the better on the side. I'll put Snorlax above Absol though, 100%. Just not anything special anymore. But speaking of defenders, it looks like the next one up is Blastoise. And Blastoise, you know, we'll put him in the A tier. Straight in the A tier. He just has so much viability. Surf can knock people around. It could really knock, like, it could really mess up Hoopa, the new character, when they teleport in and out. Just push him out of the way. You got Water Spout and Rapid Spin, which is still a very good combo. The Unite move is still crazy. The boost it gives you after you use it, on top of which, just how it knocks everybody up, and just, it's just such a good Unite move too, on top of everything else. It's just such a solid mon. I don't think it would ever beat off the top contenders like Cram in the S tier, of course. But it definitely is better than Snorlax and Absol by a pretty big margin, I'd say. Just very solid mon. Has been ever since release. I'm not sure if any of this will change, because we'll probably get an update eventually, pretty soon, since we still haven't had one this season. Weird, but then this comes on to the next few here. Blissey. Blissey. Where do we put the little pink man? Let's see. Blissey is a mon that I actually don't own, so I'm going to go off experience going against it and having it as a supporter on my team. It looks... okay. So this is the thing. It's heals. It can negate Slow Smoke, so I think with Slow Smoke rising in popularity, it definitely is a lot better than it was. But at the same time, its heals are for one person. You could go damage with it, but it's not that good. I personally just going against it, I've never been scared of it. I'd almost drop it in C tier. But I'm going to raise it in between. No, I'm going to put it... I'm going to put it in B tier. But I don't know if I'm going to put it in front of or behind Snorlax. This is a really hard one. I'm going to put it... right... no, we're going to put it above, just for the sole fact. Meme on the channel, meme on our live streams. By the way, live stream every other day if you guys want to join. Blissey steals objectives a lot in streams and games I play. It's just a thing that always happens. I always get the last hit somehow. I don't know. So we're going to put him in a B+, or technically top of B tier for now. And looking good for the first Gen 1 starters. We got Charizard here, who again, without question, we're going to put in front of Blastoise in A tier. I never would have done this in any other like update. But ever since that movement speed they did for Charizard, where instead of losing speed on his hits, he gains momentum or keeps going the same speed, makes him a monster to deal with right now. He is absolutely insane. His Unite move is probably one of the best Unite moves in the game. If you have that thing and you go into the Zap fight, you're going to be taking out the whole other team if you play your cards right. It is just an absolute monster. Its laning phase can be a little weak, which does keep it from S tier, because we are looking at its lanes. It's good solo queue, it's good with people, it's just all around an absolute unit. So it's going to stay in the A tier there for now. Maybe if they make its early game a little better, then maybe someday Charizard does have potential to be in the S tier. But here we go. So Greninja. Greninja is one of our current mains. Cramorant is definitely our main, but Greninja is our secondary, I guess. We've been picking him up for solo queue, and dang, for solo queue, is he a monster. And for that, I would put him in almost an S tier solo queue character, but on a team, I think he would drop down. So he's somewhere in the middle of S and A, in my opinion. Solo queue, he'd be at the top. With a team, probably somewhere in A. So we're just going to put him at the top of A for now. And that's because his Surf, it's such a good secure. And you could, like, if you fight in the Bs, or you could just sweep a whole team just with Surf alone. A little, like, smoke screen or double team, whatever you want to run. It's so good for just sneaking around, stealing objectives, and it can help you really win games, especially with that Unite move, which just absolutely destroys the other team. And so I would say he's top of A for now, but we'll see where he goes if he gets any buffs or nerfs in the future. And wow, keeping on the attacker range, it looks like we're gonna go with Cinderace next. Cinder. If you guys don't know, you don't know. But in my channel, Cinder is one of those characters where I don't know. I can't do it. I personally am not that good as this character. Am I gonna put him in B tier? No way. Am I gonna put him in A tier? This is another character where I'm like, okay, on a team, he could be an S tier choice if you play everything correctly. But I don't want to overload the S tier because I know we do have a lot of good Pokemon to go. So he's, again, debating A and S tier. He's one of those attackers that can just carry a game. In solo queue, he's still like a monster now. Blaze Kick just gives you so much versatility. He out-damages Greninja, and no amount of movement really changes that. I'm not the best, but I don't know. I can never beat a Cinderace one-on-one, no matter what. I'm going to put him in A tier for now, but if I end up changing my mind later down this list, I will bump him up to like end of S. For now, we'll put him at top of A tier for now. Alright. We got Crustal, our boy Crustal. Yeah. He might be a D tier mon. He might be D tier now. They took away his crits. You don't heal as much off of scoring. That hurt him a lot. They didn't necessarily nerf Crustal in the way you'd think they would nerf Crustal. They took away his crits, yeah, that hurt him a lot. But the fact that the scoring doesn't heal you as much hurts this character so much. We'll keep him in the C tier because he can still have good team setups. Very good for solo queue, running around and scoring if that's the, like, if you want to go that Japanese meta, the scoring meta where you just push. He can be good for that in solo queue, so he'll stay somewhere in the C tier for now. Our boy Crustal has fallen a lot, but his Unite move still makes him pretty unkillable. So we'll keep him around C. Definitely not in the B tier though. Let's see. I guess we're gonna go Decidueye. Yeah, why not? Decidueye. Alright, if we're going to talk about in a team, if we're going to talk about solo queue, it's rough in general for this man. People say he's one of the worst characters in the game. I don't agree. Or do I? You know, I'm not even sure if I have anyone in this D tier area, so we might just have to put him. Decidueye is... The team has something against grass ghost types. Decidueye is one of those typings where he could just get shredded so easily. He doesn't have enough health, and he doesn't have any escape to get away. They did buff him. They buffed his arrow build. What's it called? The name's blanking for me right now for some reason. But they buffed it so you can use it 3 times instead of 1, but it's still not optimal at all. Razor Leaf, on the other hand, can be very good if used correctly. Razor Leaf Leaf Storm is very good. But if you just get caught out, which there's so many Pokemon who can just catch you out nowadays, like Aegislash, Talonflame, Gengar, Lucario, you know, you just can't do much against anyone who could just get in on you and take you out. And for that, if you're running this on a team, yeah, maybe you could bump it up to C tier. It almost hurts to put this before Crustal. I don't know. Dang, actually, you know, I do think the Decidueye is better than Crustal, so I'm moving Crustal down to the D tier, and I'm putting Decidueye up to the C tier, actually. This is how we're going to do this. This is, honestly, after thinking about it, I think Crustal is worse than Decidueye. But we'll keep them both C. For now. For now. We have other Pokemon we need to talk about down there. I know I'm a little undecided. I'm thinking this as I go. And these are just my thoughts from my experiences in the game. Last season, we ranked in the 2100. So I have some sort of, you know, say in this. Alright, but now we got the new boy himself, Aggie. We're going to put him in the A tier. Right there. Right in the middle of A tier. You know, we're going to put him right there. Right in A tier. Above Blastoise, before Charizard. Aggie is one of those characters. You guys don't know how it works. You switch into defense form, you can tank any hit in the game. But you go into attack form, and then you do a lot of damage, but you become really frail. His early game, he's very bursty. You could really do a lot of damage early on. But his ability is you take more damage, but you do more damage. So it's a very risky double-edged sword, may I say. And yeah, he's not all that anymore. I mean, I feel like with one small buff, just a little bit more attack, a little bit more defense, just something. If they gave him even a little bit, he could be bumped way up to S tier and then be crazy. And I think we all kind of think that. Aggie is just one of those characters on the verge of greatness. But right now, he just kind of falls in this middle area. I would never say he's as good as Cinder or Greninja. Charizard, this is a very close one. You could honestly flip him either way. But I think he is going to be worse than Charizard just due to Unite moves and yada yada. Still a very solid character, though. Oh, and now the one everyone's probably been looking forward to. We got Hoopa. Where does Hoopa lay? D tier? S tier? I don't know. Let's see. Hoopa is one of those characters. I guess this is where we can talk about Hoopa. What are my thoughts? Solo queue, 5 stacking. 5 stacking, this character is going to be absolutely insane. I feel like there's so much you could do with this character, which makes me want to put it in the S tier. The first S tier besides our Machamp, of course. But I think it's gonna do awful in solo queue, like a B tier in solo queue, I mean, because you just don't have anything, you know, you can't coordinate with your team. People don't even know how it works right now. That'll change in the future once we see it in ranked, so it's still kind of hard to put this. We have to see where it could go. But if you guys have seen my Hoopa video, which I'll link at the end of this one, I talk about my thoughts on how Hoopa can be countered very easily in a team setting, and that being, if you use the Warp Portal to heal back and you teleport back, you could be Gardevoir ulted and your entire team gets killed in one hit. But at the same time, there are ways to avoid that if you're careful. So we're going to put it, we'll put it at the top of A tier for now, just because it does have so much versatility to it. I don't think it's S tier yet. Maybe I'll see something to change my mind. My thoughts are, you know, it's just my opinion. Nothing's final yet. Honestly, I think it could even drop a little lower, but I think it will stay in A tier for now. So we got Hoopa staying in A tier. I know, new character. Everyone thought super nutty, but I just don't see it as much. Dragonite, Dragonite. So, I am a little split on Dragonite. This character is very, very good. Hyper Beam is still amazing. Outrage could just shred people. A lot of people are using Outrage, but you don't see the character as much anymore. You know, I'm gonna switch this up a little bit. Just a little bit. I'm gonna put... No. I'm really debating. I want to put Dragonite in A tier because Hyper Beam is still such a good secure. But when you think about it, that's all it has, and it's not as good as it was. Like, I want to put it in A tier, but it seems like A tier is getting so full, right? And there's only more to come. So we're going to drop it to B tier. No, I think it's better than Blastoise still. Just, its secure is nutty. Blastoise will stay at the top of B tier. Dragonite will go in the bottom of A tier. Still very good, you know, secure, but that's where I think I'll keep it for now. Blastoise has a lot of versatility, but it struggles early game, so I think that's a pretty good way. Yeah, that's good. Hyper Beam is just such a good secure. We can't ignore that. Even after the slight nerf it has. Next, we go to Eldegoss. Eldegoss herself. Like, there's no question. Oh, whoa. You can't go in front of Cramorant, though. A best character in the game or not. Eldegoss, here you go. S tier. That tier is, like, almost solely for you. There's only very few Pokemon that can go up there. And Eldegoss is definitely one of those mons. The only character that really gives healing, besides, I guess, Hoopa now, but the shields you get and just constantly... It's so crazy. It's so crazy. You can't really counter this character. There's no real way to. The Unite move's insane. Overall, secures, damage, healing, shields, uncontestably one of the best characters in the game, if not the best character in the game. If you don't have one of these on your team and the other team does, you can put your controller down right there and say, okay, I lost this one. Either ways. Let's go into Greedent. Greedent, B tier. I think Greedent is B tier. It's annoying. If you guys don't say, I'm gonna put it right below Blastoise, above Blissey and Snorlax, though, of course. It's a defender, especially when we're even out. Like, these things could probably do good in a 5-man team. Or we're looking at both of them right now. Greedent in a 5-man team could be good because you could jungle invade. But Greedent, all it does nowadays is it's annoying. That's all it has, though. And yes, how you play a defender is be annoying, and that's kind of how it works out. But I just don't think it's as good as the other defenders, attackers. If you just ignore Greedent, you'll kind of be okay, right? As long as you don't let it steal your jungle, which there's many ways to avoid. I just think it's really fallen. It used to be an S tier mon, but they fixed him about time. It took him long enough, though. Okay, so that's enough for Greedent. Garchomp is next. Our Dragon Boy, who every single time they seem to buff him, immediately is followed straight with a nerf. They're like, nah, not today. Garchomp, you're good for an hour, and then you get nerfed immediately. And then there's someone like Greedent, who is S tier for like months. You know? But Garchomp, I think that might be our first D tier mon. Like, it has things that can definitely push it up. Like, yes, its Unite move is amazing, but at the same time, it can't really get in. It got buffs, and that made it good. So if it gets in on you, it can be very good. But I'm just talking about overall in a team setting, solo queue setting, how often you really get against a Garchomp who's in on you and just taking you out. Yes, it could flip objectives pretty dang hard, and that makes it a really scary mon. But I think we are gonna put it in D tier in my personal opinion. If you're looking out for what it's doing, everyone knows what a Garchomp's doing nowadays. It's in the D tier. First D tier mon. Hopefully they actually buff him and keep him buffed for once. Alright, Gardevoir. I don't have any personal opinions with Gardy, actually. It's kind of a weird one for me. Gardy does a lot of damage. Its Unite move is insane. Like I said, it could definitely counter Hoopa. It could definitely be, you know, its Unite move could combo with anyone. Like, Gardevoir, Greninja. If you guys both hit your ults at the same time, you'll insta-kill the whole other team. But I just don't think it's definitely not S tier. It's definitely not D or C tier. It's in one of these tiers here. Yes, I think it's better than Absol, Snorlax, Blissey. I think it's gonna be bottom of A tier. Yeah, it's bottom of A tier. That's all it is. It's nothing crazy. It's Gardevoir, you know. Does a lot of damage, super frail, no real movement. It's there, you know. But with that being said, speaking of frail and damagey, we got Gengar the Speedster, one of the very few speedsters in the game our ghosty little boy is in C tier. He's in C tier. I mean, you know, he's not really good at all. I think he's going to be better than Crustal. Not even as good as Decidueye. I'll say he's not as good as Decidueye. He could be very good. I love playing him. He's a lot of fun. I recently got him, but here's my thing. I was very scared of Gengar for a while, and then I played him, and I learned how his abilities worked, and now I haven't died to a Gengar since, knowing that once you're hit by a status, he can keep teleporting on you, so if you just avoid his first move, he's dead. And that's what really stops him. Not a great early game, not a bad early game, because Lick and stuff's pretty decent. But if you miss your first ability as this character, there's nothing else you could do. You're sitting down, and you'll just get shredded by any other character in the cast. And with that being said, from Gengar to Lucario, we're going to go straight to S tier. No matter how hard they have pushed, kicked, shoved Lucario to the floor over and over and over again with these nerfs, he keeps getting back up and climbing his way to S tier. He does it all. I mean, Lucario literally does it all. All-arounder, that perfectly describes his kit. Whether you go power up punch for the secure, extreme speed for a little bit of heals now, they nerfed it a bit, but just the million dashes you could do every time you hit a new opponent, close combat buffs, then nerf, still amazing. I love close combat extreme speed personally, especially with slow smoke, you could just catch people in, and his Unite move's good, the buffs he gets from it are great. There's just the shield you get at half HP. All around, you can build this character in so many different ways, stacking items, weakness policy, focus band, it all works. So S tier right up there with Eldegoss. Who is better in my opinion? I think Eldegoss is, but both definitely S tier picks. Alright, Machamp. Oh, Machamp, okay. Let's go with Machamp. I personally love Machamp. I played Machamp quite a bit. I stopped playing Machamp due to a YouTuber roasting him slightly one game I was watching him. And that didn't, that deterred me from playing a bit. But with the most recent buffs, I could play him a little more. I think he's not very good in lane. But center, he could do what he needs to do. He could definitely work. I run him bottom lane and it works. You're not going to be throwing the game. His early game secure has gotten a lot better. And overall, his Unite move could really change the game, especially at the end game. So we're going to put him at the top of B. Because his early game isn't bad. It's not the best. His late game is pretty good, actually. If you get a dynamic punch, close combat combo, you're going to shred almost anyone in the game. Your Unite move can take out multiple people if you aim it right, which makes me almost want to put him in A tier. He just needs one more nudge, and he could be like top of A almost. But either way, he's still very frail, and you could kill him super easily. If even an Absol could one-shot him if you catch him out or something. So you just gotta keep. He's stuck in the B tier. Stuck in the B tier. Ooh, here's one. Here's him on. Here's the little clowny boy. The clowny boy himself, Mr. Mime. We're gonna put him in the A tier. We're gonna put him. Who do I think he's better than? Do I think he's better than Hoopa? No. Do I think he's better than Machamp? Yes. So let's put him here. I think he is just all around. No. Here we go. We're gonna put him at the bottom of A tier. He's an A tier, 100%. Oh, this makes me want to rethink my list. We're gonna put Gardevoir in front of Dragonite, actually. Okay, well, there we go. Gardevoir. We might rearrange this at the end a little bit. Once I look at everything, if I have any second thoughts, I'll let you guys know. Mr. Mime, though, is it's very strong. Does a lot of damage, and it's good. It has a lot of damage potential. Whenever I go against some Mr. Mime, I'm scared. If you're going against any frail attacker, Mr. Mime can hunt you down and take you out pretty easily. But it can only do it towards like 1 or 2 people in a fight. It's not too influential. We're actually going to drop it down to B, actually. I'm very scared of this Mon. That's why I wanted to put it into A. But really thinking about it, it can only target one Pokemon at a time. It's not someone who's going to run in and take out your entire team. It's just someone who looks very scary on paper. So we'll put Mr. Mime solidly in the B tier. And with that, we got our boy Mamoswine. Mamoswine, if you're going to say an annoying factor, he's in the S tier 100%. Completely one of the most annoying Pokemon in the game. But in reality, I think we're going to put him in B tier. Above Absol. Maybe Above Snorlax. I think Mamo's better than Snorlax. This is from personal preference. Just know, this list is based off what I feel. I do not own Mamoswine. I have not played him yet, so I don't know. But he has a very strong early game, just like Snorlax. Late game, his Unite move isn't very good, but Snorlax's isn't either. So that's my reasoning for putting him in front. But he could freeze you, stun you, pull you around. He's just such a nuisance to like 1 to 2 people. And I think he's okay. He's okay. That's about all though. Ooh, but that brings us to the Ninetales, the other icy boy, the another annoying boy himself. We're gonna drop him in A tier. I think Ninetales has really risen back up recently. Good early game. Blizzard Avalanche, that build is just pretty crazy. Solo Q, 5-stack, it could fit anywhere and do what it needs to do. Its Unite move is good, its abilities are good, its basic attacks are good. You could kind of build this on anything, and I've been having a lot of success with it when I've been playing with it recently, so I think it's a solid A tier choice. Bottom of A tier, I don't think it's as good as any of these characters by any means, but it's definitely better than anyone in this tier, so that's where I kind of put it right there. Let's switch it up. Let's go to Talonflame. Talonflame's a weird one, right? Swooped out of the area. Never would have expected that. And Talonflame got a few nerfs recently. A few nerfs. And because of that, it still is one of the best secures in the game. It has a decent early game. If you take it center, it could be good. But for that same reason, we're gonna put it in B tier. Weird, I know. Talon in B tier. What? At the end of the day, it's very squishy. You could deal with it super easily, especially with more and more supporters coming out, like Hoopa, Eldegoss, anyone who could just like Eldegoss makes Talonflame irrelevant. If you have a Cotton Guard up, Fly, Brave Bird, it's not going to do anything to you. At the end of the day, it's just an objective secure, and if it doesn't steal objectives, which isn't guaranteed by the way, it's just not doing anything. It's not as good as it used to be. And then the more Pokemon that are released, Aggie / all these mons that have been getting released can counter. Even Trevenant can counter to Talonflame, you know? Its Unite move is very good. It comes up very fast, so that's why we're putting it above Machamp. But I don't think it could deal with the rest of the people in A tier right now. That being said, let's go to a new mon. A new mon, Pikachu. Pikachu. You're D tier in my heart, but in the game, you might be an A tier. I think he is. This is a hard one. I think he's above Aggie. He might be above Charizard as well. Yeah, he's above Charizard. It's just all around such a good mon. It snuck up, man. It power crept its way straight into the meta. Like the amount of damage it does, the amount of like, if you go Volt Tackle, Electro Ball is just annoying. That'll follow you across the entire map and then make its destination on you. But the rest of it, it's just all good. Volt Tackle stuns you. You can single out one person and take them out pretty easily. If you go Thunderbolt, you have a wide range attack. What I think about it is it's just better Cramorant. You get its Unite move faster. You can hit everybody at the same time when it's your Unite move. You can move during it. You can use your abilities during it. All around, this Pokemon's a monster. Its Unite move's insane. All of its moves are insane. It has good movement speed. It can kind of get in and out of scenarios. Pikachu is very scary. I might even say it's in front of Greninja. It's somewhere here. I think we're gonna split up the Greninja Cinder here and put Pikachu right in the middle. I just think it is a little bit better. Just like if we're talking about solo queue and team comps. Yeah, we'll put it right. No, actually, we're gonna put it right before Greninja, just because solo queue. Oh, we're moving around our list. There we go. And our A and B tier are stretching far. I guess I have a lot of opinions in these tiers, right? Alright, next we got is Slowbro. Slowbro is Slowbro. You know, we're gonna do a little risky play here. We're gonna put him in the B tier and then move Absol down to C tier, just because its gambling aspect I think is so bad. And if it gets a bad early game, it's just not very good. As I realize, we're putting a lot of defenders in the B tier. Again, Slowbro's no different. I think it's a little worse than Snorlax, but it still has a super good secure with Surf. I think it's the better solo queue option. So, because Telekinesis, Amnesia, it could all be very good. I honestly think, no, you know, Slowbro is better than Snorlax. Never thought I would say it, but if I am against a Snorlax and I am against a Slowbro, I am more scared of the Slowbro every single time. Early game, maybe Snorlax a little more. Late game, I'm way more terrified of a Slowbro running up and ulting me and just taking one person out of the fight. That's more than Snorlax could do. He's just sitting there in the corner, sleeping, doing nothing. So, here we got Slowbro. We got Slowbro right in between Mamo and Snorlax. The 3 defenders, all chilling here. Then the other 2 over here. Maybe I have to switch them around a bit. Maybe I do put Blastoise up a little. We'll see. We'll see at the very end. Next, we got Sylveon. Sylveon is in my heart. I don't like this mon that much. It really hunts me down. It takes me out almost every single time. But considering it gets its Unite move at level 8, which is huge. It's a monster lane. Top lane monster. You get level 4, you just kind of shred the competition. For that, we're going to put it in A tier. It has a good Unite move with decent secure. I think we're going to put it in between Dragonite and Gardevoir. Because Dragonite has fallen. Before, I think it would be better. You know, we'll actually put Dragonite below Ninetales. It's going to be at the bottom of A tier. I personally think it's an A tier. You could drop it in B, Dragonite here. But, again, I think its Hyper Voice didn't get hit that hard. People just kind of over-dramatic it. Yeah, we'll just go with that. But yeah, we'll put Sylveon right in between Gardevoir and Ninetales, because it could shred almost anyone in the game. It could be a little frail, but its Unite move getting at level 8 is just so good. Go in the A tier. Let's speed through these last few here. Trevenant, D tier, straight D tier. Poor guy, poor Trevenant. Honestly, very hype mon. Me personally, I love Trevenant. I think it's so much fun to play. You can play it well if you don't. That's the great thing about Pokemon Unite is you can play any Pokemon well, like at all. All of them are viable, at least in solo queue. Once you get into teams, things get shifted around a little bit. But Trevenant is definitely lackluster. Again, it's a Grass Ghost type. These games hate Grass Ghost types. Right here, he just doesn't do enough damage. He can kind of survive and be annoying, which I think is good for a defender. But he just, like I said, he needs a little more damage. He needs a little more oomph to his kit, and then maybe he'll be viable. One of these days, they'll decide to give us another balance patch for this season, and then maybe he'll jump up. Hey, that's my hopes. But for now, I'll put him at the worst character in the game, right below Garchomp. Next is Trina. Trina's a weird one for me. I love Trina. A lot of fun. Used to be the best, like one of the best Pokemon in the game. Like, Triple Axel got nerfed, which hit it hard. Stomp got buffed. So that will make me put it at the top of B tier, I think. Top of B tier. That sounds better. Definitely better than Machamp. I think it's worse than Charizard, just because Unite moves. Dragonite, Trina, they're so close. They're one tier apart, literally one space. Trina's gonna be at the top of B. Dragonite's the bottom of A. I think that's the best place to put it. No, you know, we could, yeah, I think that's where we'll put it. This is more of a controversial one. Let me know. It's a hot take. Hot take, she's top of B tier. She's not as good as she used to be. Venusaur. Venusaur is top of A tier, not S tier. Ha, pranked. All around, amazing Pokemon here. Absolutely, you know, we'll put it above Cinderace, below Hoopa, because we still don't know Hoopa's true value yet. I think it can be countered, still could be very good. Venusaur, Solar Beam, Giga Drain, Sludge Bomb, Petal Dance, whatever build you want to go, no matter how you want to mix it, everything's amazing. All builds are amazing. You can build so much on this mon. Whether you want to build a long distance sniper, build that long distance sniper. Keep away with Sludge Bomb. You want to go Petal Dance and run on in like a tank, go on in and sweep their whole team. Unite move's still insane. It got nerfed a few times like Lucario did, but it still climbs its way to the top of A tier. And that's where Venusaur is going to stay for probably a very long time. And, oof, okay, let's go to Zeraora. Let's go to Zeraora. We'll leave the pink monster for last. Zeraora is a mon, which I think is a very, very, very scary one. And I think it's going to go above... It might. Okay, yeah, we'll put it below Trina, above Talonflame. At the end of the day, it does so much damage. Discharge got nerfed, which puts it down a little bit, but Wild Charge is the only reason I think it's even viable in B tier. It can completely negate Unite moves. For a fact, if you were to put it against Cramorant or Decidueye, or anyone that stands still and does continuous damage, it completely negates, because you wild charge, it becomes invincible and just shreds your character if you hit with it. And I think that amount of damage and that negation puts it in B tier, when otherwise, if that move wasn't as good as it was, if you didn't have the invincibility off that move, I would put it in C tier with Absol. But that move alone will drag it into B. It has a pretty rough early game, unless you go jungle, then it helps a little, but not much. So that's why it's kind of stuck in this B tier limbo there. That's all for our boy Zeraora, despite having that Yeehaw cowboy skin. You're stuck down there, man. And last but not least, the Wiggly, the monster themselves. I don't know if I want to put them in front of Lucario or not. It is so close. This character is insane. You could sing, run into them. You could just, the double slap. It's insane. Roll out. Everything is good about this character. Roll out's a little bit of a meme. That'd drop it down to A. But Sing is so good. It's such a monster of a move. This Mon does not die. It does good damage. It puts your entire team within a circle asleep. And its Unite move just keeps it alive. I mean, it's just, what else can you ask for out of a Mon? It's up there with Lucario, and Eldegoss, and dare I even say Cramorant. So, we're going to keep it up in S tier, and that is our tier list video. This is definitely going to be a longer one. I don't even know how long it's going to be. I think I went a little too into detail on what I think about a lot of these Mons. If you want me to keep it shorter and simpler next time, be sure to let me know in the comments below, or if you like this length. I mean, in fact, if you want it longer, I'll go more in depth about what I think about each Pokemon. I try to speed it up towards the end, because I felt it getting a little bit longer. This is probably the longest I've actually recorded for, out of streaming, of course. So if you enjoyed, be sure to let me know in the comments down below, and I'll do more tier lists soon, because I found this actually a lot of fun. So I'm totally down to do more tier lists on any sorts of things. Either ways, that'll be all for this video. If you guys enjoyed the tier list, be sure to let me know. Let's hope for more Cram buffs. Gotta keep them in the S. Maybe we'll make an SS tier for our boy Cram. And that'll be all for this video. Let me know what you guys think of the list, and how you think Hoopa is going to evolve in the meta. That'll be all. Bubble out.